Now, there would have been a lot of people, Natalie, who would have had youngsters last night or whenever they go back to school over this week and next, feeling very anxious. There would have been probably a bit of stroppiness, maybe, and they would have thought, oh, I knew this was coming, but I don't know how to handle it. And I guess what you're doing is giving those youngsters the tools.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the term life coach is an interesting one. It's not something that I classify myself as. I mean, there's only so much about life you can help a 4- and 5-year-old with. But what I do is help with the coaching tools around confidence building, building their emotional resilience, managing those big emotions in a more resourceful way. Not that the big emotions are wrong, but it's just helping them manage them in a better way, and also helping the parents with certain strategies and tools that they can use to continue that conversation.
Liz, Lindsay's got in touch saying, I wouldn't say they need life coaching, but certainly it's not a bad thing to have, to encourage confidence and help them to achieve what makes them feel good about themselves. If the child benefits from it, why not?
It's a very valid point, and we do know that children are under a lot of pressure at the moment. There's a lot of screen time, and they do, you know, we know that the number of children who are presenting with problems of some kind or other, psychological problems or emotional problems, are much, much higher than they were even 10, 15 years ago, OK? But I think my question is we need to ask why that is. And actually, not taking away anything from what you do, and clearly your motive is positive, and you want only positive things for these children. When I watch that video, when I see that, something in me just goes, this does not feel right to me. These are 4, 5, 6-year-old children, and we're placing them at the centre of the universe and talking to them in terms and in language which is much more adult orientated. And very often we hear terms like, you know, empowering children. We want to empower them. We want to teach them negotiation skills. They're 4 years old. And somewhere in the middle of all of that, not we all have, but there has been a loss of parent-child. You're a child. The answer is no sometimes. That's OK.
You might cry.
You might cry, you might not like it. And so, you know, psychologists have found, and we do know, that to sort of deify children in the way that we are and talk to them, almost introduce problems to them where they weren't thinking before of whether I should feel this or feel that. They were developing that kind of naturally. Almost it's detrimental in a way to put this into a child's
I think
mind.
one of the things that worries me, Natalie, is partly that you're introducing adult kind of skills to a very young age, even though you might argue you do it in a way that's kind of child friendly. But also that actually, isn't this what the parents are meant to be doing? And actually time with parents is often the thing that youngsters really crave.
Yeah, absolutely. I do agree. And I think, you know, that it is important that the parents spend the time with their children. From my experience and what I've seen over the last 10 months and why there's been, you know, with regards to why there's been this rise with regards to my opinion, is that I think parents that come to me don't always have the necessary tools, the information available as much as what they'd like.
Shouldn't you be teaching them?
I absolutely do. So my sessions don't just involve a session with the child. All of my sessions involve sessions with the parents afterwards, using the tools and communicating the language and whatever the strategies that we've used so that they're able to continue those conversations with their children. And it's not a quick fix. It doesn't dissolve all of the tantrums or what. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the tantrums, but it's just providing parents with additional tools and strategies to help create a more harmonious relationship, and also for parents to understand themselves as well. Because I have parents come to me saying, I want some of these tools because I need some help with this as well.
But you know, you mentioned the word sort of anxious, people being anxious with children going back to school. There's so much anxiety around at the moment about all of this stuff. And actually, we didn't used to be so anxious about it. And you said maybe parents don't have the information. There is more information available now, which is almost the problem. I've got 4 children and they span 20 years. So my eldest is 20 and my baby, who's outside, is 5.5 weeks old. So I've seen over 20 years quite a change in children and in the pressures that they're under. And actually, there was less anxiety. Certainly, when we were growing up, there was much less anxiety. And so it's almost as if we're all primed now to worry about, are they doing this, are they doing that? And what we're seeing primary school-age children who are already presenting with quite high anxiety.
Yeah.
This is coming through parenting. Parents, when we're pregnant, we're made anxious, and it sort of continues from there.
We are in that world.
We are, and we are running out of time, unfortunately.
That's making me anxious.
More importantly, we've had lots of you getting involved with this. Lisa via Facebook says, my daughter turns 4 in February. Does she need a life coach? Yes. Her life coach is her mummy, though. Maxine says, life coaching, being a parent, isn't that the same thing? Why would you pay someone else to do that for your child? You should be doing it already. But then Louise says, with parents working 24/7, this is no surprise. It's very, very interesting. Thanks for your comments. And Liz, lovely to see you. Natalie, thank you for coming in. And congratulations on the baby, 5 weeks.
Yes.
Goodness me, how's it going?
Terrifyingly together.
I would like to thank the entire makeup department for everything they've done today.